Today we are starting with the topic burning and the respiration. As I think you are already familiar with the physical and chemical change that I told you, I explained you in the previous lecture. So in the same way, we'll be taking up this burning and respiration as an example of chemical change. So first we are going to start with burning. So what do you mean by burning? Do you have an idea that what do you mean by burning? Yeah, like if you are burning a paper, you are burning a matchstick. You're like just lighting a matchstick. That is all comes under the burning part, right? So what do you mean by burning? Burning means oxidation of any substance in presence of air or the oxygen to produce energy in form of heat and light. So that is called as oxidation, right? So that means suppose I have taken a sample, I am just heating it, I am just making it react with the oxygen. So what happens? It will start burning and it will produce energy in the form of heat and light. Right. So there are three conditions which are necessary for burning, which has to be kept in mind whenever we are carrying out the burning process. So there are three conditions, three particular conditions which has to be there if we wish to carry out burning. So the three conditions which are required is a combustible substance. We'll be discussing these criteria. We'll be taking up these criteria separately. But before that, I want that you should be familiar with all these three characteristics, or all these three criteria which are required. So one is the combustible substance. The other one is the supporter of combustion. And the third one is the proper ignition temperature. So we are taking up these criteria separately so that you'll be able to understand this criteria in a better way. So first criteria we are taking up is the combustible substance, right? So the substances are actually classified into two categories on the basis that they catch fire or they don't catch fire. So they are combustible substance and non-combustible substance. Combustible substance is that which gets oxidized to produce energy in form of heat and light in presence of oxygen, and non-combustible substance is that which do not allow oxidation to occur. That means it do not combine with oxygen to produce heat and light. So that means the combustible one is that whose oxidation can be done. We can combine it with oxygen, giving rise to the production of heat and light, the energy in the form of heat and light. And in case of non-combustible substance, they do not allow combustion. That means they do not allow they do not allow the oxidation of the substance. So no heat and light is produced as such. So if we wish to carry out burning, we need to have a combustible substance. That means it should allow the oxidation to occur. It should allow it to react with oxygen to produce heat and light. So we have few examples as combustible and non-combustible substances, like the combustible substances, paper, fuels. This fuel is a big category actually. It includes all those LPG, butane, you can say petrol, diesel, everything. So they all are considered to be a combustible substance. They catch fire easily. And when we are talking about the non-combustible substance, that means do not get oxidized. They do not allow oxidation to occur. For example, we have sand, you have stone, like that. We have many more examples. So I think you haven't seen the stone catching the fire or the sand getting burnt. So that is why it is being classified into the second category, that is the non-combustible one. Now we'll be taking into the consideration the second criteria, right? So the second criteria is supporter of combustion. That means We need a gas which can allow the oxidation to occur, or due to which or you can say it is the main cause to carry out the oxidation. If it won't be present, then the substance will not catch fire. So second criteria is there should be a supporter of combustion, right? So we have few gases or few substances which act as supporter of combustion, and the other which do not support combustion. So that means when we are talking about the supporter of combustion, they are classified again into two categories: the one who are supporting the combustion and the one who are non-supporters. They are non-supporting the combustion, right? So in the supporting category there comes many gases. Do you have some idea for the gases which support combustion? So it must be striking your mind that there are few gases. You must be having few examples in hand. So likewise, I am telling you the few examples, just keep in mind, because we need to know that whenever we are carrying out burning, that this substance will be burnt or not in the presence of such and such gas, right? So when I am talking about the supporter of the combustion, the gases which support combustions are actually Cl2, chlorine gas, O2, oxygen gas, NO, nitric oxide, this is nitrous oxide. So these are the gases, and many more gases are there actually which support combustion, right? And now we are talking about the gases which do not support combustion. So that means they don't allow the combustion to take place, or you can say they actually extinguish the burning. Means they are used to extinguish the fire whenever it is needed. So which gases comes under this category? It is hydrogen gas, nitrogen gas, hydrogen chloride. Likewise, we have carbon monoxide, we have carbon dioxide, and many more. And I think you must be familiar with carbon dioxide, because we have many soda acid gas fire extinguishers which we are using in a daily routine. You must have seen that there is a big cylinder which is present in the huge buildings. It is just for the fire extinguisher. You know that what that cylinder actually contains? That cylinder actually contains the baking soda and the sulfuric acid. So when it has a certain kind of glass cylinder, we will be taking later on. But for this moment, I want to tell you that soda acid fire extinguisher carries that baking soda and the sulfuric acid. And they are bounded by the common knob. When we press that knob, when it is required, we just press it. And when we press it, the glass cylinder which encloses the sulfuric acid breaks. Both baking soda and sulfuric acid react, resulting in the formation of carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide comes with a great pressure and just make the protective blanket, cut off the oxygen supply, and just extinguish the fire. So that means it is used as an extinguisher. That means it is non-supporter of combustion. That is why I have written an example of CO2. The CO2 is the basic gas which is used to extinguish the fire. So these are the two criteria. The third one we have